We go on to start with MATLAB. When we talk about MATLAB, MATLAB is a high performance language for technical computing. It integrates computation, visualization and programming in an easy to use environment where problems and solutions are expressed in familiar mathematical notation. See, we use it in mathematics and computation. The name MATLAB is not mathematical laboratory, it is matrix laboratory. I'll come to that. But the main utilization was in mathematics and computation, then algorithm development, modeling, simulation and prototyping. Not only that, now we mainly use it for data analysis, exploration, visualization. It has a very effective scientific and engineering graphic development, application development, graphical user interface building. That is also a very effective application of MATLAB. The name MATLAB stands for Matrix Laboratory. The main content or the main starting point of any MATLAB application is a matrix. When we say A is equal to 2, we take that A is equal to 2 as a 1 by 1 matrix only. Okay. MATLAB has evolved over a period of years with input from many users. It is not that it is made by one person. It is an interactive system whose basic data element is an array that does not require dimensioning. That is again another advantage. And it features a family of application specific solutions called toolboxes. It contains various toolboxes for specific applications. So the main toolboxes we have they are comprehensive collections of MATLAB functions that extend the MATLAB environment to solve particular classes of problems. And the main areas in which we have toolboxes are signal processing, control systems, neural networks, fuzzy logic, wavelets, simulation and many others. Even now there are various toolboxes getting added to it. The MATLAB system consists of 5 main parts: development environment, mathematical function library, MATLAB itself as a language, and how it handles the various graphic solutions, and it has an application program interface also, API also. The development environment is a set of tools and facilities that help use MATLAB functions and files. It has various functions, it has various tools, and that development area which we use. It includes the MATLAB desktop and command window, command history, browsers, workspace, files, search path, all those where we start using it is the development environment. Then it has a function library, a vast collection of computational algorithms ranging from elementary functions like sum, sine, cosine to complex arithmetic, more sophisticated functions, inverse, eigenvalues, Bessel functions, FFTs. So that library of functions is another part of the MATLAB. Another is the language, how we can use, like any other language, programming language. We can use MATLAB also as a language with control flow statements, functions, data structures, input output, object oriented programming features. It allows both programming in small to a programming in large, create complete large and complex application programs also. Okay. Next is it is very efficient in handling graphics, high level commands for 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional data visualization, image processing, animation, and low level commands like to build a complete GUIs or MATLAB applications. So that way also this is a very effective software which is very commonly and popular among the engineering fraternity. And the application programming interface is a library that allows you to write C and Fortran programs and interact with MATLAB. Even now with LabVIEW also MATLAB can be interacted, and that also is there. Now it has another extensive documentation in printed and online format to help you learn about use of all of its features. So it has an online documentation also, or we can have it in a printed form or in PDF format also. So when we buy MATLAB, we have that help documentation which is online also, with the system also, or in printed format also we will get. Now we'll go on to MATLAB. I'll show you along with the MATLAB running together software. There are three basic windows of MATLAB, which we call as the command window or the starting window of it. It has a graphics window or a figure window we call it, or an edit window. Then on the command window we have these. So let me show you these. This is the main MATLAB window. This is the command window part of it. And on to the command window we can have an edit window separate when we edit programs onto it. And when we on this edit window also, when we write programs to plot anything, the figure window automatically pops. Figure window, figure window or graphics window also automatically crops up. So these three are the basic windows which we are having. On to this command window, we have separate windows on the side. That are the other sub windows of the command window itself. So there is a launchpad, workspace, command history, and current folders are the various sub windows on the command window. I'll show you that. See, on the main window, this is the command window, main window where you write the commands and get the answers. This is the launch pad. In addition to the start of the command window, we have a start here. That will launch all the facilities, MATLAB and toolboxes which it has. This is known as the launch pad. And there is a current folder window which shows which is the current folder which is open. Or if you want to change the current folder, you can go to this and change to a folder. If you want to read some programs which you have on your USB, so you can go to that, or to any other D drive or C drive, the command the programs which you are saved. So you can go to the current folder or drive by means of this current folder window. Then we have a workspace window and a command history window. The commands which you write on the command window will automatically be shown onto the command history. Or as you work on, all the commands which you put on to the command window will be saved onto, and it will be shown on the command history. If you want to go on to a previous command which you have used, you can go to the command history, click on that, and it will come on to the command window and you can utilize it again. Workspace is the space where you can make your data space. So it's like an Excel sheet. It has lots of columns and rows in which you will be able to start entering your data and using it also. Or it will save your data variables also, so that you can use it again and again. So workspace, when you work, we will be able to see what are all these various functions of these sub windows of MATLAB. These are some commonly used commands in MATLAB. Clock, when you write on the command window, will give you the present time, date with year as a vector on the system. If you give date, it will give you the date. VER, will give you the version of the MATLAB installed on your system. Who will list all the variables currently in the workspace. जो workspace में है, जो variables है, that it will show. whose will also give the same information, but it gives more information of the type of the file, size of the file also. What will give all the, it will not only give the variables, it will give also the .m, .mat and .mex files on the disk. Clear all will clear the variables in the workspace. Workspace means jitne variables hai, all that will be deleted. Clear XYZ means you can clear a particular variable which you want to clear, delete from the thing. CLC will clear the command window, CLF will clear the figure window. Quit and exit will quit MATLAB which you are working on. Okay. Now when we work on MATLAB as a calculator, there are various arithmetic operators which we can use. The main operators we have are the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. All those operators we use plus, minus. For multiplication we use star. For division we use the slash command. We also have unary plus and minus, which we use previous to the variable plus p and plus minus. And for power we use this hat operator. Okay, this is the hat operator we can use. Not only arithmetic operators, we have various relational operators like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to and not equal to. See, equal to is different from an assignment operator. Assignment operator, there will be only one equal to sign, and equal to operator is a relational operator. It will check whether A is equal to B. So to check whether A is equal to B, then we write two equal to signs. See here, I think you can see this here. Two equal to we will use, pass, so that it is known as an equal to operator. And not equal to ke liye we go for a tidal sign, a tidal with equal to. And less than or equal to is less than sign and equal to. Greater than or equal to is greater than and equal to. दोनों pass हम use करेंगे. That is how we use the relational operators. Then we have logical operators, and ampersand sign for the AND operator, or like this, not, tidal sign for not operator. And for XOR, there is no operator, we write XOR, so that it will work like exclusive OR. So AND, OR, NOT also we have operators for that also in MATLAB. Then, as in any other language, we have a hierarchy of operators. See, it is not that MATLAB has only these operators which I have specified in the previous 3 slides. There are other operators also, colon operator, transpose operator, logical AND. So there is a hierarchy of operators in this order, 1, 2, 3, and the highest priority is for parenthesis, transpose, power, and then for multiplication, right division, dot multiplication, addition, subtraction, and the least priority is for the logical operators. Now we'll go for how we will use this MATLAB. First is we use MATLAB, we define how we define variables. Okay, let me go to MATLAB. See, this is the MATLAB command window I have. Okay, the MATLAB always on the command window we have a double arrow prompt. The prompt is always a double arrow. So to define a variable, I'll write a is equal to 2. I define a is equal to 2. So when I enter, it shows a is equal to 2. Okay. Or if I wanted to define b is equal to 34, then it shows b is equal to 34. See, if I write c is equal to 89 and put a semicolon on the side of it, then it suppresses the output. So semicolon is a suppressing output operator. See, when I wrote a is equal to 2, it showed the output. But when I put a semicolon at c is equal to 89, it did not show the output. So whenever you don't want to see the output, we put a semicolon at the end of the statement. It will do the calculation, but it will not show the output on the command window. Okay, so this is also an operator. We call it as a semicolon operator, and it is for the suppressing the output. Okay, now we have defined A, B, and C. So now see, I will now use some operators so that it will be clear for you. See, I'll write x is equal to C power hat operator A. So I have written C hat A. That means 89 raised to 2. We have to get 89 raised to 2. I have not put any semicolon. See, it gives 7921. Okay. If I would have put C raised to A के लिए एक semicolon दिया होता, it wouldn't have shown that x is equal to 7921. It will calculate but will not show the output. Okay. Now if I do B multiplied by C, that means 34 multiplied by 89. It gives the output. This is what I was telling. We can use the MATLAB command window as a calculator. MATLAB command window as a calculator. So for any numbers you can put in, use all those operators you can practice on your own, plus, minus, multiplication, division, power, all those we can cite. Now another big advantage of MATLAB is the application of the complex numbers. See, if you want to write A is equal to 5 plus J2, 5 plus J2. Let me show you. A is equal to 5 plus 2J. जिनको फाइल नहीं मिला, okay, J and I both can be used as, इधर रख दो, please keep it there. J and I both can be used as the imaginary operator. MATLAB understands both J and I. So if I have to input 5 plus J2, I have to write 5 plus 2J. 5 plus 2J. And it gives the output as 5 plus 2I. You write I also, it will take. Okay, but we Indians use J, so we understand, we are familiar with J, but it understands J. Okay, now I am defining N is equal to 6 minus 5J. So I have now two complex numbers. A is equal to 5 plus 2J and N is equal to 6 minus 5J. Now if I want to multiply this, A multiplied by N, okay, N divided by A, or even N divided by 2 also. Okay, you can divide by scalars also. multiply, power, plus, minus. So all those complex multiplications and additions you can do. Try doing it while you go for practice. You do all this. Try all this. Now if I want to get the real part separate and the imaginary part separate, okay, so we have to give a command real multiply bracket में n. See, real n will give the real part of, what is the real part of n? 6. See, और जो हमने अभी किया ना n by a किया ना, that also you can do. Imag will give you the imaginary part, and it is not that you can give like this also, n by a also. n by a calculate करके उसका imaginary output आपको देगा, imaginary portion को निकाल के देंगे. Okay. Now the absolute value. What is absolute value? Real part square plus imaginary square under root. Okay. So for that you give the command abs bracket में n by a. I am taking it n by a. You take any value you have. Okay. So absolute n by a हमें कितने मिला था? What was n by a? 0.6897 minus j 1.2759. That is n by a. We don't know the absolute value of that. Okay. Now what is this absolute value? Under root real value square plus imaginary value square. Okay. Now angle. Angle, what is it? Tan inverse b by a. Okay, tan inverse imaginary divided by the real part of it. For that we have to give the command angle. Angle will give you the angle part of it, but it gives in radians. You will get it in radians only. If you want it in degrees, then you have to multiply it by 180 by pi. See, multiplied by 180 by pi. See, MATLAB takes pi as pi. MATLAB takes pi as pi. So you जैसे हम pi बोलते हैं वैसे आप इसमें लिखो pi. It will take the value of pi. So here I have written angle n by a जो हमने अभी पीछे कैलकुलेट किया है minus 1.0752 multiplied by 180 divided by pi. It is minus 61.6070. Okay. Hello from the centers. Am I audible? Hello? Any of the centers have any problem? Am I audible? Are you? Is my lecture visible on the screen?
Ma'am, everything is okay. Only the lower part is not visible.
Okay, okay. I'll go to it. ऊपर जाऊंगी मैं. Okay, I'll again show you the lower part. I'll write again angle n by a multiplied by 180 by pi. ये मैंने किया था. Okay. Now I will try to write on the top part only. Okay. Now there it is not that we have to every time do it by angle and absolute calculation. There is a command by which you can convert the rectangular form to polar form and polar form to rectangular form. Okay, so the rectangular form is otherwise known as a Cartesian form. So the command is Cartesian to polar. Okay, see here we will see what for our reference. Let us see what we have defined A. A is defined as 5 plus J2. Okay, 5 plus J2 is the A part of it. Now here we want to convert this value into a polar form. This is the Cartesian form where we have the real part as 5 and the imaginary part as 2. Okay. Now, when we convert Cartesian to polar, we should give the real value and the imaginary value, and we'll get the angle and the absolute value. Angle and the absolute value. So, the order in which you get is that the first value you get is the angle and the second value you get is the absolute value. Okay, see here I'll show you that how you give that. See, within a square bracket I am giving two variable names in which the angle value and the absolute value has to be saved. So I give it as R and P square bracket equal to cart to pole 5, 2. See here, what happened? The command is cart to pole. Cart is C-A-R-T, numerical 2 and P-O-L. It shows what it will do. It will convert Cartesian values to polar values. And what are the real and imaginary values? 5 and 2. And now we got two values, R and P. R is the angle value and P is the absolute value. That is the order in which we give. Oh, syntax. R is the angle value and P is the absolute value. Okay. Similarly, if I want to go for the polar to Cartesian, I have to give it in a form in which the values real and imaginary has to be saved. So here A, B is equal to pole to cart. Because R and P we have, I am putting it as R and P only. See, now do you notice one thing? As I write the command itself, MATLAB prompts you with the value. See, when I write it itself, it shows a box on top of and shows you the syntax. Shows you the syntax so that you don't make any mistake. That is again the new advantages of MATLAB. It will prompt you that you don't make any mistake in the syntax. It will show you the syntax. Okay. So I'll write first is the theta value or the angle value and then the absolute value. Okay. Okay, so I have put the angle value first and the absolute value first. If you give it in the other way, it will consider it as the angle value. So you will get a wrong answer. That is why you should be very careful that you give the angle value first and the absolute value second. See, A is the real value and B is the imaginary value. Clear? Any questions? Okay, these are regarding the complex numbers. Okay, now when we go for some trigonometric functions, see all trigonometric functions, sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec, cot. आप लोग इधर सुनिए. Will be given as you write. We write sine as sin, cos as cos, tan as tan. We usually don't write tangent, cosine, sine and all. We write sine, cos, tan. MATLAB also takes it the same way. Sec also it will take it. Secant also it will take SCEC. And cotangent also it will take it as cot. But cosec, we write cosec, COSCCA, but MATLAB takes it as CSC. Okay, CSC. Okay, now I will give you, before CSC, I will show you some examples of sine only. See, sine, if you take what we do, we have to give it as sine 30. Imagine we have to give sine 30. But MATLAB don't take as 30. It takes in radians. So 30 has to be converted to radians so that you get the answer 0.5. So here I have to write 30 multiplied by pi by 180 sine 30 multiplied by pi by 180 so that you get it as 0.5. Okay. If I take CSC 30 multiplied by pi by 180. Okay. What is it? 1 by 0.5. You get it as 2. So cosec is 1 by sine. So we get the value of sine 30 into pi by 180 as 0.5. So cosec is CSC. So you get it as 2. All the other cos, sec, tan, cot, you try on yourself. Okay. But the latest MATLAB has again more advantages for you. It will take the degree as such, but a little bit change the command. See, if I want to give 30 as such, then the command is sin D. See, if I use sin D, then you can give 30 as such. Okay. So, if you have the radian values with you, then we can directly go sin, cos, cosec, jaise hum likhte hain. But I have the degree values with me. Then we go for sin D, cos D, tan D, sec D, cot D, CSC D. Okay. So let us try CSC D now. Cos D. .866. Okay. Now we require along with this we require sine inverse, cos inverse, tan inverse, cot inverse, tan, all those. So for inverse the command is a sine. A sine 0.5. Sine inverse 0.5. We should get 30, but it will not give you 30. It will give you only in the radians format, which you have to convert 180 by pi. But if I use a sine D will give you 30. Okay. So for inverse, it is a sine, a cos, a tan, a CSC, a sec, a cot. If it is with degrees, then it is a sine D, a cos D, a tan D, a CSC D, a sec D, and a cot D. So I think you have noted it down. You can practice it. Okay. So while practicing, you practice all this. Okay. All these complex numbers which I have told you and the trigonometric functions which I have told you. Okay. Now we have some more commands, interesting commands. I have explained all this. Now some more interesting commands we have like square root, log, exp, rand, round, all that also I will show you now. See, the command for square root is sqrt. 25 will give you 5. But you don't have a command sqr. Square का command नहीं है. How will we take the square? Raised to use करेंगे. Raised to use करेंगे. But we have a command of square root. sqrt. आपको cube root और any other root find out करना है तो हम कैसे करेंगे? 1/5 से 1 by करके हम उसको raised to डालेंगे. If I require the 5th root, a raised to 1/5 करेंगे. That is the way we are using in here. Now log. Log will give you the natural logarithm. See, if I do log 2, I put s is equal to log 2. So it gave me this value. Iska inverse है e raised to. Here it is exp. If I give exps, it will give back 2 to me. So it is like natural logarithm, ln and e raised to, like we use in our mathematics. Here it is exp and log. If we require logarithm to the base 2, then the command is log 2, and logarithm to the base 10, then the command is log 10, log 10. Okay, so if I use log 10 200, it will give you 2 point characteristic and mantissa. I don't know how many of you have ever used logarithm tables. Nowadays you don't have all those. We have calculators, so we calculate. We don't use logarithmic tables. So this also is not very much useful. But if by chance you require any log to the 10 base 2, we use log base 10. We use log 10. Similarly, we have a very interesting command in MATLAB. Is the rand. Command is rand. It will give a random number. How many times you use rand, it will give a random number which is between 0 and 1. The number will always be between 0 and 1. Okay, jitne baar hum rand denge, it will give a different numbers. Okay, if I require a number greater than 1, I require random numbers less than 10. How will I get? Multiply by 10. I require random numbers less than 100. Multiply by 100. Okay, so it depends on the user what range of random numbers you require. So this will give floating point real numbers like this with decimal places so that you can use it. Okay, now if I require integer random numbers, then the command is rand I. But you have to specify what is the limit. See, I am giving so it will give a random number within 10. Integer random number within 10. Okay, now again another interesting. If I write rand 3, what it will do? Random number within 3? No. It will give 3 random numbers. See, it will give you a 3 by 3 matrix of random numbers. Rand 3 will give a 3 by 3 matrix of random numbers. But if I want a 3 by 3 matrix of integer random numbers, I want all these integers. I want to use rand I. How will I use? Less than 10. Integer numbers, a 3 by 3 matrix of integer values less than 10. What should we use? The first value, when we use rand I, the first value will be that limit. 10 के अंदर आपको values चाहिए. 10 तक आपको values चाहिए. 3 will be the 3 by 3. Okay, so rand 3 and rand I may there is a value 10. That limit also has to be specified with rand I. Okay, I don't require a 3 by 3 matrix. मुझे सिर्फ 3 नंबर चाहिए या 10 नंबर्स चाहिए. मुझे 10 नंबर्स चाहिए. मुझे तो 10 by 10 नहीं चाहिए, then you specify the row number and column number. So when I give randi 10 10 1, it gives you a column vector of 10 values within till 10 integer number. So first 10 is the limit, next 10 is the row number, 1 is the column number. So जितने आपको चाहिए 7 by 8 मैट्रिक्स चाहिए तो राइट 7,8. ओके, या रो वेक्टर चाहिए तो 1, जो वैल्यू चाहिए. सो यू कैन हैव एनी नंबर. जितने बार आप इसको बार बार चलाओगे आपको डिफरेंट वैल्यूज मिलेगा. दैट शुड, यू शुड बी केयरफुल. ये नहीं आप रैंडम नंबर एक प्रोग्राम में लिख दिया, रैंडम कमांड, एंड एवरी टाइम इट इज गिविंग यू डिफरेंट रिजल्ट. बी केयरफुल. MATLAB will generate different random numbers at different group. Okay, that you should be very careful with rand command when you use. Okay, now there are some commands, very interesting commands for rounding off. Okay, let me take d is equal to, okay, let me come to the top. D is equal to 23.5678. Okay, so I have defined d as 23.5678. Now I give a command round d. Round d will round it off to the next integer depending on the value of the decimal part. If the decimal part is greater than 0.5, then it will give you the next integer. If it is less than 0.5, it will give you the lower integer. Okay, but there are commands like seal d. Seal d will give you every time what it does not look for what is the decimal value, like greater than 0.5 or greater than 0.2. If it is, there is a decimal value, it will give you the next integer. Whereas floor will always give the lower integer. Whatever be the value of the decimal part, 0.5 से ज़्यादा हो, 0.5 से कम हो, floor will always give you the lower integer and seal will always give you a higher integer. Whereas round will round off the integer, round off it to a particular value, higher or lower, depending on the value of the decimal part. Okay. Then there is a command called rem. Rem will give you the remainder of the division. You do 25 by 2, you will get the result as 12.5. But if you require the remainder of the division, then we give rem 25,2. How to do it? Rem 25,2. It will give you the remainder as the result. Okay. Then there is a command called power of 2. Power of 2 will give you the power of 2, like 2 raised to 3. Or this will give you 2 raised to 5. आप कोर्स के लिए आए MATLAB, ये फाइल ले लीजिए. 2 raised to 5. Okay. Then we have very interesting commands like factor. Factor will give you the factors like FACTOR, factor, and I give 32. It will give all the factors of 32. Or let me give some other value, 36. Okay, like we divide 36 by 2, we got 18, then again divide by 2, 9, then divide by 3, 3. So we know the factors are 2, 2, 3 and 3. You give higher values also and see what are all the factors. Okay. Now another command, like I am giving you some commands which are very interesting, but there are lots of commands. MATLAB is an ocean of functions and commands. I will not be able to explain to you all the functions and commands just in a class like this. So you can refer good books. You can go for MATLAB help. Also, I'll show you how to use help. But some of the commands which we very commonly use, I am telling. Like it is the factorial. Now you want to find out what is factorial actually. Factorial 5 means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Factorial 20 means 20 into 19 into 18 into 17 into, okay. So I'm putting 20 here. Factorial 20. So it will multiply all the values. So it is 2.4329 into 10 raised to 18. E18 is 10 raised to 18. Okay, it is giving, it's a big number. That is why. Okay, we can use a smaller value. Factorial 10. Okay. Now it can give you all the prime numbers. Command is primes. All the prime numbers till 50. Primes 50 will give you all 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, all the prime numbers. Another interesting command which we commonly use is LCM. LCM of 16 and 36. Similarly, GCD. What is GCD? Greatest common divisor. Okay. So it has lots of functions and commands. I'm trying to generate your interest in learning MATLAB by giving you some very interesting commands and functions. Okay, now let us go to more functions. See, I told you MATLAB is matrix laboratory. So working with matrices and generating vectors and matrices is very interesting and easy in MATLAB. So I'll show you, I have made the slides itself. See here, making a matrix is like you write it within the square brackets. You write within the square brackets means it will consider it as a matrix. Now see here, I have written A is equal to square bracket 274 semicolon 389 semicolon 167. See here, semicolon has a different meaning. I told you semicolon is a suppressing output operator. But when semicolon is used within the square brackets, it is like a new line operator. It generates a new line. Now what is the answer here? 274, 389 and 167 Kayak matrix. A is equal to this matrix. Okay. Now I am generating another matrix where B is equal to square bracket के अंदर मैंने A लिख दिया. A is a matrix. A की एक combination का एक और matrix I am making within that square bracket. So what is the result? See, 274, 389, 167 and these are means accumulated together. You get a 3 by 6 matrix. Okay. So that MATLAB has great capability of generating matrices. Now I'll show you some more examples. Okay, see here, A is equal to square bracket, okay, 1:8. Now here square मैंने semicolon आपको बताया. Now here I am using another operator. I call it as a colon operator. Here A1:8 will generate all the numbers between 1 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Or if I put it in another way, I put 1:2:8. Then 2 becomes an increment value. In the previous case, it took the default increment as 1. You have not specified any increment, so it took a default increment as 1. So 1:8. Now here I am specifying the increment, so it will generate 4 numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7. So colon operator helps in generating the values in the vectors and matrices. Okay. Now in another way, colon operator has again a different meaning here. See, you know now A is 274389167. If I write A bracket, round bracket, 2, colon, A round bracket, 2, colon, then what it does is, it extracts the second row from A. It extracts the second row from A. So here it is not the square bracket. Here it is the round bracket with A. So A जो define आपने किया है, उस पे 2 is for the row portion and colon is for the column portion. So it will generate the second row fully. If I do the other way, see here, I have defined B round bracket, colon, comma 3. So what it should take? It should take the third column of B. That is 497 of B is taken out. So by using a colon operator within round brackets, you can extract part of matrix. Okay. When we were using colon operator within square brackets, then it was generating matrix values. But in here, we are using that same colon operator within round brackets. So round brackets takes the arguments. So here it takes out the values, extracting parts of matrices. Now see here, this is again another way of doing it. 2, 2, colon 4. Now what does it mean? Second row में second column से fourth column तक जो values से उसको extract करें. See here, B है, ये B है. B का ये second row है, that is for the first 2. Second 2 colon 4 में second column से fourth column तक. So it is extracting this 8, 9, 3 and giving that. Did you get the point? See, I have shown you another example here. B 2 colon 3 comma 4. What it will do? It will take the fourth column और उसका second row से third row तक निकालेगा. So it will give you 3, 1 here. Okay. So these are different ways of extracting parts of or sub matrices from a bigger matrix. So many a time we may have to use these functions in our programs. We have a bigger matrix, maybe a 25 by 25 matrix. So in that 25 by 25 matrix, we may have to take parts of the matrix for some calculation. So we can use this colon operator, define the rows and columns within colon operators, and we can take part of a matrix or a sub matrix of a bigger matrix. Got it? See, in this example, we have put 2 colon 3 comma 3 colon 5. That means it will take from the second row to the third row of third column to the fifth column. See what it will do? It will third column to the fifth column ka ye portion, second row to third row. See, it takes out 9, 3, 8 and 7, 1, 6. Okay. Whereas when we use, ये मैंने आपको अभी दिखा दिया है, C colon square brackets के बीच में जब ये colon operator आता है, then it generates the values. See. What if you require a decreasing matrix? मुझे 20 से मैट्रिक्स चाहिए, 20, 15, 10 and 5 and 0. How will we generate it? See, how will we do it? A is equal to square bracket 20 colon minus 5 colon 0. So if I do a minus 5 as the increment operator, actually it is a decrement operator, okay, it will give you the values. So you can use a increment operator as a positive value or a negative value, so that you get your matrix as descending or ascending. Okay. Now some multiplication and division. See, symbol multiplication operator, the star operator, when we use with matrices. See, I have a matrix defined here and a D matrix defined here. So when I multiply A with D, see here, when I multiply A with D, symbol matrix operator will do a matrix multiplication process. You know, a matrix multiplication process means the first row will be taken with the first column, sample by sample we multiply and add and get a value. That is the usual matrix multiplication process. So here V is A multiplied by D. It gives an error. Why? Yes, that matrix multiplication has a condition that the number of rows of the first matrix should be equal to the number of columns of the second matrix. So in this, D is a row vector, does not have any columns, so it gives an error. Whereas if I give the same command D multiplied by A, then it is the number of rows and the number of columns in A and D match, so that it will give you the result. So a symbol star with matrices will give you a matrix multiplication. Okay, what if I have to do a sample to sample multiplication? Okay, if I have to do a sample to sample multiplication, like I have A is equal to 20, 15, 10, 5. Okay, So if I have B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I have a matrix A 20, 15, 10, 5 and 0, 5 values there. B also have 5 values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want a result of multiplying A with B. 20 should be multiplied by 1, 15 should be multiplied by 2, 10 should be multiplied by 3, 5 should be multiplied by 4 and 0 should be multiplied by 5. Here it is not a matrix multiplication. Here it is a sample to sample multiplication. Then it is that we cannot use the symbol multiplication operator. Now so you see here I will show you C is equal to A multiplied by B will give an error. It cannot multiply. But there is another operator, we call it as a dot multiplication operator. You put a dot before the multiplication operator. Dot star B. A dot star B. It is not as known as a dot multiplication operator. It will do a sample to sample multiplication. Whereas if I do Ax is equal to A plus B, it will not make any mistake. Sample to sample add or minus also. But when it becomes star operator or division operator or hat operator, we require to do dot. Dot star, dot slash and dot hat. Okay. For addition and subtraction, because it automatically does sample to sample, you don't require a dot operator over there. So I have in addition to the operators which I have explained in the first slides, like relational operators or logical operators or arithmetic operators, I have explained to you now semicolon operator, colon operator and dot operator. Now there is an interesting operator in matrices, is the transpose operator. See, we have A. If I put A and this single quote on top of it, then it is a transpose operator. Then it is a transpose operator. See, let me define a matrix F is equal to 2, 5, 7, 1, 6, 7. Okay, I have defined a matrix, a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, so when I write F dash, it gives a transpose of that. What is F? F is 2, 5, 7, 1, 6, 7. F dash will, the single quote on the side, will give you 2, 1, 5, 6 and 7, 7. So this is again another operator which we call as the transpose operator, which very commonly used in matrices. Then there are very interesting commands in MATLAB using matrices. The first one is size. Size and length. Length can be used with single row and column vectors, and size can be used with matrices. When we use we have a B like this. When we use size B, it will give you 3 and 6. That means there are 3 columns and 3 rows and 6 columns. When we use length, it will give it as 18. There are 18 values in it. Okay. Similarly, max B will give you the maximum of each of the columns. See, 2, 3, 1 का maximum 3 है, 7, 8, 6 का maximum 8 है, 4, 9, 7 का maximum 9 है. It gives the maximum of each of the columns. But if you do the total, सारे में maximum चाहिए, so then we give another max on this. So that max B. So that it will again do a maximum operator on the row value here. See, when we do max B, we got this row. इसके ऊपर हम दोबारा max करेंगे, so we will get 9 max value. Okay. So if you require the maximum of all the values in a matrix, then we have to use 2 times max. Similarly, minimum also. But otherwise, it gives you a minimum of the maximum of the column values by default. Similarly, minimum of the column values. Okay. So, and for any square matrix, see, I have defined a square matrix A. So, for a square matrix, diag will give you the diagonal values. Dij, Diag. Diag will give you all the diagonal values. 2, 8, 7 are the diagonal values that you will get. Okay. That will give you the determinant of A. A274 का determinant calculate करेंगे ना, 2 को 8 9 से multiply करें, 7 को 3 9 से, 4 को, we do that determinant operation. That will give you the determinant of A. I and V will give you the inverse of A. I and V will give you the inverse. Sort will sort it out. By default, it will sort in ascending order. If you require it in a descending order, then you have to define that we require it in a descending order. Mean will give you the mean of the columns. How will you find out mean? 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 3. 6 plus 7 plus 8 divided by 3. 4 plus 7 plus 9 divided by 3. So you will get this as the mean values. Sum will give you the sum of the columns. Prod will give you the product of these columns. Length will give you the number of length in each of these columns or number of rows in the line. Okay. Now, more interesting matrix commands. IEYE will give you an identity matrix.
Hello. Ma'am, half of the screen is not visible. Left part of the screen is not visible.
आप लोग वो हटा दो ना, अब मेरा पिक्चर हटा दो.
वो मैम आपके एंड पे चेंज होगा, हमारे साइड से तो वो हिल ही नहीं रहा.
सोनी मेरा वो हटा दो उसमें से.
हाँ अभी.
Is it visible now?
Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. वो है ना, वो मेरा फोटो उसमें बीच में दिखा देना, ज्यादा नहीं दिखाना. Okay. I will give an identity matrix. आप लोग सुन लिए. Identity matrix. Zeros will give you a matrix of all zeros. Ones will give a matrix of all ones. The 3 when you give, it is a, जैसे मैंने random में बताया, it is a 3 by 3 matrix. If you require to define the rows and columns, you define it. If you require a column vector, then you give it as 3 1. Okay, you require a 7 by 8 matrix, you give it as 7, 8. Okay, that is there, row and column. Simply you give a number, then it will give a 3 by 3 or a 4 by 4 matrix. So here, because मैंने zeros 3 दिया, so it gives a 3 by 3 matrix. Ones 3 दिया, so it is giving a 1 by 1 matrix. Okay. I will give you the but EIG can give you the eigenvector. So if you require the eigenvector and the eigenvalue, then actually calculated. Because you are not giving space to store, it is not stored. So when I simply it will not give you the eigenvector. Probability of this is eigenvalue. So because we have the B space defined values we will define here or x square bracket and we will give you the eigenvector. Okay. So both train is actually the sum of all the eigenvectors. So train I am not calculating जो भी A दिया उसका हमें here so this is the addition of okay so there are various commands of mathematics only. So the advantage here is that you don't have to go through all the calculations we do. Eigenvalue calculation and this is dividing matrix calculation when it goes for higher dimensions of matrices, the calculation will take lots of time. Whereas MATLAB, all these are functions which will calculate all the values. So that is the advantage of MATLAB. Here it has many of the functions which you can practice during your now some more mathematics regarding polynomials. See, when I told you matrix, MATLAB is matrix level. You define a matrix or you define a polynomial. Here you define a polynomial by defining the coefficient of the term as a matrix. So here I am defining a polynomial as cube plus 6 s squared plus 16s. That is the polynomial I am having in my mind. But when you give it to MATLAB, you don't give a square. You only have to enter the value of the coefficients. So the what are the coefficients? 1, 6, 16 and 16. So when you write z is equal to square 1, 6, 16 and 16. MATLAB will take it as a polynomial. And it will understood. MATLAB can understand or I know that it is considered as square 16. Okay, all the coefficients. Can find another one. S square plus 4 8. I can define it as 148. 0 148. Because 0 is that value is not having. Simply 148. Now I have two of these polynomials defined as z and y. Now to multiply these two polynomials, I give the command CONB. It is actually the command for combination. We do the same process as combination. In matrix multiplication, polynomial multiplication also. So the command is same CONB for combination and values which are stored in z and y. Z comma y will be multiplied and you get matrix value vector value. You can try all this and if you want to divide the polynomials, then the command is okay, dividing the polynomial. And it will give you the two values. Z will give you the divided values or quotient, and R will give you the remainder also. R will give you the remainder of that values of the division. Now if you want to add two polynomials, it is simply Z plus Y and evaluate the polynomial. See, I have a polynomial 2s square plus 3s plus 4. And I want to know what will be the value of the polynomial for s at s equal to 2. So what we do? We substitute all s as 2. 2 into 2 square plus 3 into 2 plus 4. So to get that value, what we'll do? We define the coefficients as C, 2, 3, 4. See here, C is 2, 3, 4 and S is equal to 2, and the command polyval, P-O-L-Y-V-A-L, C, S. C is the polynomial coefficients, S is the value of S. So we'll give you the value 2 into 2 square, 8 plus 6 plus 4, 18 आपको आउटपुट मिल जाएगा. Okay. Similarly, to find out the roots of a polynomial. See, the polynomial is s square plus 3s plus 2. So the values of the coefficient we define as 1, 3, 2. The roots can be obtained by giving the command roots p. Okay, so it will give you how many roots? 2 roots, because it is a quadratic. If you have a higher order, उतना आपको roots देगा. Third order है तो 3 roots देगा. If it is an order of 8, means it will give you 8 roots. Command is roots. And जो 8th order polynomial means you will have in P 8 values. P में 8 values आपका होगा, and you will get the roots also 8. Command is simply roots. If you have the roots and to get the polynomial back, आपके पास roots की values है, get the polynomial back, the command is polyr. Okay, I'll show you some of these in MATLAB. Okay, now जैसे हमने अभी किया है P is equal to 1, 3, 2. Okay. See, I am giving it as P is equal to 1, 3, 2. What is the meaning? S square plus 3s plus 2. Okay. Now R is equal to roots P minus 2 and minus 1. That means S minus 2 into S minus 1. Ah, yes, good. That's what I wanted from you. It is S plus 2 into S plus 1. So, see, MATLAB will give you these values only. How will we have to write it in the right order? The user has to use it intelligently. Okay. So, MATLAB gives the roots as minus 2 and minus 1, and to write the factors we will write it. Okay. Similarly, if I write P is equal to poly R, it will give you the polynomial back. Okay. Let me make another polynomial. Q is equal to 2, 3, 1. Okay, 2, 3, 4. I think that is the other polynomial we were having, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, to means divide. Okay. What we said? Con Q, comma P. It gives a multiplication of these two. So it is like S square plus 3s plus 2 multiplied by 2s square plus 3s plus 4. So two second order polynomials, when we multiply, we should get it as a fourth order. So 2, 9, 17, 18, 8 क्या होगा? 2s raised to 4 plus 9s cube plus 17s square plus 18s plus 8. Okay, it will give you the values. But वो convolution है या polynomial की multiplication है, that the user has to do it. Okay, get the values out of it. Okay. Now here again, we have a characteristic matrix, and from characteristic matrix also you can get the polynomial by the same function poly A. So we can find out from the characteristic matrix also to the polynomial, and the roots में से भी polynomial find out कर सकते हैं by the same poly function. Roots में से भी find out कर सकते हैं, characteristic matrix से भी find out कर सकते हैं. Now derivative of a polynomial. See here, the polynomial is defined as s raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 8s square plus 16. S value नहीं है, but when you define y, वो s value की जगह आपको 0 लगाना है. If you did not put that 0, it will take it as a second order polynomial, third order polynomial. आपको वो fourth order लेना है तो all those values has to be defined over there. Be careful about it. तो 0 लिखना है, even though we don't have a 0, s value नहीं है, you have to write it. So we write y as 1, 4, 8, 0, 16. The derivative of the polynomial dy by dx will be found out by the command polyder, P-O-L-Y-D-E-R. So that we get it as 4s cube, वही है ना, s raised to 4 का derivation 4s cube होगा, 4s cube का क्या होगा, 12s square होगा, and 8s square का 16s होगा, and 16 दो constant cancel हो गया. So we are now getting the derivative as 4s, 4, 12 and 16. So we, and 0 also, because वो 0 constant है. So we take it as 4s cube plus 12s square plus 16s. Okay. Now when we integrate it, see here the derivative we obtained as 4s cube plus 12s square plus 16s. 4, 12, 16, 0 मिला है हमें. Now when you integrate it, we have to give the constant of integration. What is this constant of integration? The number which we have not considered, the constant number, जो पीछे हमने ये 16 को delete किया है, that we have to add as the constant of integration. So polyint का command में y, k होगा. So y is 4, 12, 16, 0. Comma is k is 16. So you will get that same polynomial as your output. 1, 4, 8, 0, 16 जो हमें पीछे मिला है, same we will get by the polyint command. I think it is clear. I don't have to show it on to MATLAB because I have to show many other things again into this. So let me go on a little bit faster. Now with polynomial again, another interesting way is the linear system ka solving of a linear system. See, I have written it as 5x is equal to 3y minus 2z plus 10, 8y plus 4z equal to 3x plus 20, 2x plus 4y minus 9z equal to 9. But we know that it should be in x, y, z format. So we make it in a format like my first one should be 5x minus 3y plus 2z equal to 10, minus 3x plus 8y plus 4z equal to 20, and 2x plus 4y minus 9z equal to 9. This should be the linear system. वो हम उसको ऐसे बनाएंगे. And to find out the values of x, y, z, to solve that, the coefficients of x, y and z को हमने एक matrix बनाया A. See there, 5 minus 3 2, minus 3 8 4, and 2 4 minus 9. Are you getting it? And the constants का एक और matrix बनाया 10 20 and 9. That is a column matrix. Column vector 10 20 and 9. To get the output, usually what is the जो मैथमेटिकल वे में हम क्या करते हैं, A inverse multiplied by B. A inverse multiplied by B. That's the way we do. So inverse of A multiplied by B you can do. But MATLAB has another operator. We call it as a backslash operator. The backslash operator will find out the inverse of A and multiply by B. So both these, C is equal to A backslash B and C1 is equal to inverse A multiplied by B, both will give you the same answer. Both will give you the same answer. So MATLAB has an operator for this. We call it as a backslash operator, and it will do this for the solving of a linear system. Again, it is easy. It has become a function in MATLAB. Okay, clear? Next is to find out the partial fractions. Finding the partial fractions, the command is residue. R-E-S-I-D-U-E. Okay, the fraction, the polynomial in rational form, I have given one example here, s plus 1 divided by s cube plus 7s square plus 16s plus 12. See here, the numerator is also a polynomial, denominator is also a polynomial. Now how will we do this? The command is residue ND. N is the numerator polynomial and D is the denominator polynomial. So here N will be defined as 1, 1 because the coefficients are 1 and 1. And D will be 1, 7, 16 and 12. Okay, so N and D is defined. Now R, P, K are the zeros, poles and gain. So now when you do this, we get R as minus 2, 2, minus 1 and P as minus 3, minus 2, minus 2. And then we have to arrange the partial fractions in this form. Because we are having minus 2, minus 2, we know we will write it as s plus 2 and s plus 2 the whole square. See how I have done it? So this form of writing it is the user's job. It will give you these values of zeros, poles and k.